pooja.com. So what's in the menu today? Yes, delicious and very tempting strawberry pastries. They are kids' favorite and I'm going to show you how to prepare them at home with my simplified recipe. So stay tuned and let's have a look at the ingredients first. We need 1 sponge cake, 1 tin of pineapples with its juice, some glazed cherries, vanilla essence 1 teaspoon, 400 ml of heavy whipping cream and 2 to 3 tablespoons of icing sugar. That's it with the ingredients. For making pastry, we need sponge cake. Sponge cake is a special type of cake which has some airy texture and sponginess that becomes possible by heavy beating of eggs. To make perfect sponge cake, have a look at my video recipe of how to make basic sponge cake. I'm going to cut my sponge cake into 2 halves. So I have cut my cake into 2 halves. So the cake is ready. Now we should prepare the frosting for our pastries. We are going to make butter icing for our pastry. So for making butter icing, we need 8 ounces of unsalted butter. Make sure the butter is at room temperature. It should not come out from the fridge and goes inside the beater. So it has to be on room temperature. So 8 ounces of butter goes inside the beater and we are going to beat it nicely. We are going to start the beater. After beating it nicely for 2 to 3 minutes, the butter has become creamy. Next, we are going to add icing sugar to the creamy butter. Mixing of butter with the icing sugar is known as creaming butter and sugar. Okay? But before we enter the icing sugar to the butter, we need to sieve it nicely. Why sieving is important? Because if you add the icing sugar as it is to the butter, your icing is going to have lumps. We don't want any lumps. So it's always a good practice to sieve your icing sugar and then add it to the butter. I'm going to use 8 ounces of icing sugar or maybe a little bit more. But firstly, I'm going to put my icing sugar into 3 portions. Turn on the beater. After mixing the complete icing sugar in batches, I've mixed it in 3 batches. Do not ever mix the whole icing sugar at once. I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla essence to give that flavor. Our butter icing is ready. As you can see, the icing is really stiff. It's not dropping so easily. So this is the consistency we were looking for in a butter icing. Perfect. So the perfect butter icing is ready. Now we need to make the butter icing look like the icing for strawberry pastries. So I'm going to pour my icing in a separate bowl, as much as I need for the pastries. To make the icing for strawberry pastries, we will pour our butter icing in a bowl. I am taking pink color, just 2 drops, not much. And fold in the color nicely with the icing so that we get the lovely pink color for the strawberry pastries. Don't do it with a heavy hand, gently fold it. Look at the lovely pink color that has come just by adding 2 drops of food color. And this we are going to use as icing for our strawberry pastries. If you want, you can make it a little darker, but I think this looks sober and perfect for the pastries. Now our sponge cake is ready and our icing is also ready. So let's start making pastries. Firstly, I'm going to horizontally cut my sponge cake into 2 equal halves, like this. Gently. Like this, gently keep cutting. Use a sharp knife. Gently remove the half portion and keep it like this. Now this is sugar syrup. What I have done is I have just added 3 to 4 tablespoons of sugar to this much bowl of water and mix it till the time the sugar melts. That's it. This sugar syrup we are going to apply it on our sponge cake so that our pastry becomes juicy and very soft when we eat it. Take the sugar syrup, use it with the help of brush, apply it onto the cake. This will make your cake very moist. After brushing the cake, take your frosting, apply it on the cake, 1 slice of the cake. Not much. And this is a palette knife. This is used to apply the icings evenly. So with the help of the palette knife, smooth your icing in the center. And it should be more in the center rather than on the sides, because when we will apply the other slice, the icing will start to come out. That we don't want. After evenly spreading the icing, I am going to cover it with the second slice of the cake. That's it. Pour rest of the icing onto the cake and ice it like you ice your cakes. Spread the icing like you are spreading it on a cake piece in one direction. See, it's all smooth. Now I'm going to cover the sides. Take icing, apply it like this. Don't worry about the surface. It's going to be a little dirty. That's okay. That's it. Our cake pieces are completely iced nicely, but I'll still like to share one tip with you guys. If you face problem while icing it, dip your palette spoon in a cold water and then it will be more easy for you to smooth your icing like this. It was just a small tip. My cake piece is ready. Now I'm going to put it onto the plate. Now our basic cake dressing is done for making the pastries. Now let's decorate our pastries. For that, I've taken this piping bag with star nozzle, and you can use such a mug like this, put it like this and fold the paper so that it becomes like this, and then you can pour in your icing to the piping bag. I've filled the icing in the piping bag. I'll keep it aside for a while. These are the sprinkles. We are going to spread them on the sides. Like this, so that it sticks to the cake. After spreading the sprinkles on all these 4 sides, I'm going to decide how many pastries I'm going to cut from this slice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 pastries I'm going to cut it. So I think we should start cutting our pastry from here, so that all the pastries are equal in size. Okay. Now let's cut our pastries. Use a sharp knife here. You can use these kind of stencils to give some shape if you want, and otherwise if you don't want to get into that trouble, you can leave it also. Let's just try one. See? Just to give little bit design, that's it. Okay, now I'm going to use my piping bag. Okay, try first on something else. Yes. So I have used a star nozzle with which I'm going to draw a spiral like this. That's it. It's done. Let's further decorate our pastries. I'm using these decorations. You get it easily in confectionery shops. Just on the top of it. See, it enhances the look. And in 1 or 2 we can put the glazed cherries like this. Wow, see? It's looking so beautiful, right? As I'm left with some more icing, so let me just do a little bit of more shapes for few of the icings, like these. This will give nice edges to your pastries. Wow, look at these. As our pastries are ready, so let's plate them. You can try as many variations of decorating them as you want. You can put real strawberries on the top, anything you like to do. So how to bring them out? Firstly, take the palette knife like this and gently come out like this. Yes. Okay. After removing it from the surface, because pastries are soft, they do stick to the surface. So like this, we remove it from the surface easily. And then you can use a thong like this and take your pastry piece and put it onto the plate gently. Like this. I'll do that for all rest of my pastries also. As you can see, my pastry looks ravishing. I'm going to plate the other 2 also like this. Be very careful. If you can't handle 2 at a time, then better use a thong. Because they are just fresh pastries, they are really very delicate. Careful, careful. That's it. Look at the pastries. Lovely, aren't they? Scrumptious and mouth-watering strawberry pastries are ready. Do try this at home because I'm sure your kids and family are going to love it. But before you serve them, keep this in refrigerator for an hour so that the icing and the pastry firms a little bit. This is how we serve pastries always. Okay? Till then, this is Pooja signing off. You don't forget to subscribe us at Cook with Pooja YouTube channel and like us on Facebook.com. Bye-bye.